Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Red Mist Roundtable. We'll be now discussing the Tier 2 perks for Black Ops multiplayer. Alright, the first of the Tier 2 perks is Harden, which is basically FMJ from Modern Warfare 2 or Deep Impact from COD 4 and World at War, which is basically bullet penetration. I have no clue what the pro on this will be, but I know what Man INS does.
Stopping power, you dig?
Ah, man, you're just bringing on hell everywhere you can, huh? You have absolutely no faith in the next game for this, huh? Well, my only thoughts I could think about with Hardened and Hardened Pro is I think they could really use it to give the LMGs some relevancy. They're supposed to be the idea of a large machine gun like that is full auto, fairly accurate at long range, and firepower. It's supposed to give you firepower, and in a game where the SMGs and stuff like that can fire through cover the same way as anything else can. Add that with their high rate of fire, it makes them the best things for shooting through cover. That doesn't really make sense. It should be a gun like this. I think with the Hardened Pro, they could really give a new facet of gameplay to the LMGs that doesn't really exist in any of the other games, any other shooter in general, really. That's just my thoughts on that.
I'm going to agree with Rob on this one because I have no idea what it could be, and that just sounded really smart. So what do we have next? Tier 2, number 2, we got Scout, which is basically Steady Aim Pro from Modern Warfare 2 or Iron Lungs from the previous games. You can hold your breath longer while sniping. Now, the Pro version, to me, can only be that it becomes infinite. You hold your breath as long as you want. Let's see, INS.
I kind of agree. I don't think infinite, but I think extra time added on. Maybe an extra 5 or 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Rob.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit of different way with this. Is that the only thing I can think of is that the name Scout doesn't really make sense with the whole holding breath thing. It doesn't jive. The only thing I think about is that maybe the Pro will have something more to do with that, and maybe the idea of a Scout will be that people won't have it won't be so easy for people to sneak up behind you. Maybe it'll increase the footstep noise, or you may even make it where people behind you pop up on radar, or something along those lines. That's the general gist of it. What do you guys some thoughts on that?
You actually just gave me a good idea. What if it's like the recon class from Battlefield, where you could spot people? You could spot people across the map. That'd be sick. If that's true, that's the best.
I was also thinking along the same exact lines, but instead of spotting people, you get increased optics.
Well, the increased optics thing, I don't think it would really make sense because generally Call of Duty is fairly short range. There's no actual sniper ranges in any of the Call of Duty maps, except for maybe Derailed and stuff like that, but it didn't be useful at that point because there's always somebody coming up behind you with a submachine gun, which comes back to what I'm saying. Now, what you said about being able to show up people, that's interesting, where if you get them in your reticle, maybe you have to hit a button like Battlefield, or you don't, where just if you see them, maybe it will be like you are a scout. You call out where they are. That actually makes a lot more sense. By the name Scout, that makes the most sense.
I also like that idea again of just like Battlefield, you spot them, but maybe instead of that on the UAV, it flashes a red area of the area that the bad guys are in. So instead of giving away their exact position, it gives the area instead.
That makes sense also. I mean, that could also work, but that's where it comes down into where that's the designer's decision, We have ideas of it, and the name Scout kind of hints at something, and it's definitely not going to be holding your breath, I don't think. It just doesn't make sense. Why would it be that? You know what I mean? So it basically comes down to it's an interesting idea. You have an idea of what it may be, but it's up to the designer now, the game manufacturer, to decide exactly how they want to implement it.
Now, for game designers, I really don't think to make a pro, especially for a game like Call of Duty, to just make the effect better. It's not interesting. It's just flat out boring. You make whatever better. It's just the same exact thing as stopping power. Your bullets do more damage. How boring is that? Plus, you feel inclined to just freaking use it. You know what I mean? It's just not good to game designing.
You see, I understand what you're saying there. It doesn't add a tactical value. There's no actual strategic change that happens because of that. And also, what I was, what Nick said about Scout is that it creates more usability for the sniper class, which, as you know, in Modern Warfare 2, it just became, what do they call it?
Riz.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just it basically you could basically run around with you might as well be using a shotgun or a muzzle loading fucking Civil War gun. That's
All interesting ideas. Scout definitely is an interesting perk. Can't wait to see what they do with the pro version. All right, moving along. It's Steady Aim. Now, one thing I could definitely say about Steady Aim is it's definitely not going to have the same pro as it did in Modern Warfare 2, as Scout is now that perk where you can hold your breath longer. Honestly, Steady Aim Pro, I have no clue.
Maybe a smaller crosshair for akimboed weapons, or pistols, I should say.
I guess that could be possible. I mean, that the way I feel, it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't turn out to be something like that. But really, my biggest issue that I've got to worry about is the only thing I can think of that they would use to extend that is it some sort of auto aim situation where the pro helps you aim certain buttons. I really hope it doesn't come to that. That's all I can think of. I can't think of any ideas what the new idea would be. I just can tell you what I hope it isn't.
I was thinking maybe you could throw things farther. I think that would be a nice little tactic for people,
Oh, like hucking grenades further? That's a pretty interesting idea.
And that'll play into what you were saying before in the other video about you were worried about people grenade spamming.
I'm going to go a little bit of a different way and say it could be a second idea. Instead of choosing Scout for a sniper, you can still use Steady Aim, and it would reduce the swaying of your gun while you're scoped in.
That's an interesting thought, too. Now that you said it, brings it up. Think about the sway you see with the ACOGs, or whatever the heck they're calling it in the new game, and the sway with the red dots and stuff like that. It could reduce sway. That would definitely be something pretty big, especially for submachine guys.
Another idea is the recoil. Maybe it could reduce recoil. That would change a lot of guns, because a lot of guns have more recoil than others. So,
All interesting ideas. Can't wait to see what it is. Continuing, we have an old favorite, Sleight of Hand. Now, I'm gonna go an interesting route here. I'm gonna say it's not gonna be faster aim down sights on the pro. I think you're gonna switch between weapons faster. What do you guys think?
The switching between weapons faster is actually a pretty cool idea. I don't have anything to add. I couldn't really think of anything. It seemed to me like it would be the same thing. But what you said about switching between weapons faster will be pretty cool, especially seeing how you can't go to a secondary and act as if it's a main rifle or a gun or shotgun or like it was in the last game. This game is mostly going to be reduced to pistols, where that speed and possibly getting that first shot a little faster can definitely save your life.
I'm going to go a completely opposite way and say that it's going to help you arm and defuse bombs quicker and capture positions quicker in domination and sabotage.
Excellent thought. Excellent thought. Anyone else? All right. That does it for Sleight of Hand. And the final Tier 2 perk is Warlord, which is basically a rehashing of the Modern Warfare 2 perk Bling, in which you get 2 attachments on your primary weapon. Now, I feel the pro version will be just like Modern Warfare 2, where you, as well as your primary, you get 2 attachments on your secondary. How do you feel about this?
I think it's just going to be like Overkill in COD 4, where you get 2 primaries.
That's it. I was thinking the same thing, but my question is that will the new one give you the attachments for the secondary weapons right off the bat? And also, if it's the Overkill, will it be overpowered? Without stopping power, the weapons are basically like you'd be just like Modern Warfare 2, where you could run around with a shotgun. It causes the same issues.
All good points. And that's going to wrap it up for part 2 of our video discussion. Stay tuned for part 3.